This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 679 for October 26th, 2020. Is Senpai in the whip?
You finally noticed me.
Find out next episode.
On Senpai in the whip.
Oh, we're monsters.
Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpeer.
Hello, I just punched the mic and you couldn't even tell.
And the Nymph.
If I punched my mic, you would know.
It would disintegrate. Look at these guns! Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers where you can check out all the behind-the-scenes gun action, especially with the uncensored and exclusive outtakes. This week we Google a lot, and it's way more interesting than it sounds, because we find out about a lot of shows that we loved, as kids.
Check out Nightman. Tell me what you think.
Yeah.
No, it's not loved ? It's loved as kids. Do we still love them today is where the question mark comes
Or
in.
were they actually good? That's the yeah.
Most of my Google searches just then were like, oh, wow, this looks like crap.
Oh, no. You can also get early access to stuff like Critical Misses. We're a little bit late here starting today because we wrapped up Season 3 of that. Season 3 is in the can. Waited it when you get posted. We just announced what Season 4 will be. And get some early access, 2-month early access to that. Get 2-week early access to We Roguelike It. We're playing Hades right now. If you're not playing Hades and you like roguelikes or you don't like roguelikes,
Go play Hades.
Go play it. It's really good. So patreon.com/E1M1. Get all that great early access audio. Help me pay for the show. Help scare the poops out of me. If you hit the dollar value goal, I'll start playing spooky stuff. Yep. Why not? Why not punish me?
And the first one is Resident Evil 7, so we're going to start with a bang.
Yeah. God, heaven help me. So yeah, you can put your hard-earned ducats towards that. The $5 a month tier is the one that I recommend. That gets you everything. Anything beyond that is greatly appreciated and helps pay for the show. If you want to know where all the money goes to, I have all that stuff super transparent on the site. And I think that's it. So, Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
So, do you remember last week when I hemmed and hawed and twiddled my thumbs and thought, am I an old man or do I still have the chops to go for that last 2 achievements in Mortal Shell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still got the chops.
Nice. You got both of them?
I got both of them.
Hey.
Which was to... Number one, here's a fun fact for you. I did not know there was a 5th form in the game.
Oh.
It's called the Obsidian form.
Oh, yeah.
And it literally stops you from being able to collect any shells. Like, it's like you will renounce all shells. It's like,
interesting.
Well, I'm doing that on this playthrough anyway, so I'm just going to get that achievement.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes your guide look a whole lot more like a Tool music video.
I like it.
Because your white skin is now black and oily instead.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So slightly more gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only a Tool video if you're, like, throwing up some sort of black viscous goo.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I then promptly proceeded to speedrun, get the 5 items I need to upgrade my sword to the maximum level, and then did the 4 bosses in order without getting hit.
Oh my god. So yeah, you still got it.
Not in one shot, mind you. This isn't a case of, oh yeah, I cruised my way into the dungeon boss, I beat him first time, and then the second boss. No.
Sat down Saturday afternoon.
It took me, like, an hour to get to each boss because I was speedrunning through the dungeon and occasionally getting hit and then having to respawn at the checkpoint and run past them again.
Mm-hmm.
And then it took me about 3 hours per boss fight to get to the point where I could defeat them without taking a hit.
Mm-hmm.
Probably about 6 hours for the final boss on that one, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
Jeez.
And I slowly but surely ticked one box, ticked the next box. I was doing it like one a day. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
Monday night I ticked the first box and then I stopped. Tuesday night I ticked the second boss and then I stopped. Wednesday night I ticked the third boss and then I stopped. And then on Thursday night I could not tick the final boss, so I waited and then did that on Friday instead.
Nice.
But yeah, I beat all of the bosses within each combat encounter, literally not being able to take a single hit or you die.
That's crazy.
So that was fun and terrible and terrifying all at the same time. But it was one of those great moments that it was one of those Souls-like moments, one might say, where every time I beat the boss, it was just that surge of adrenaline and like the yes kind of thing going on.
I did it!
There was a lot of questionable words being thrown around when I made a stupid mistake.
Mm-hmm. A lot of creative swear words.
A lot of yelling that wasn't directed at necessarily anything.
Right.
Yeah, the only thing it was directed at was myself, because it's like, why did you go for a third swing? You bleeping bleep bleep redacted.
Yeah.
You know that person's going to hit you. Why take 3? Go for 2.
Your wife's on the other side of the house going, if you don't like the game that much, why are you still playing it?
Well, she knows me, unfortunately, so she's used to seeing me do this and just... I am the Juggernaut. Do you know who I am? I am the Juggernaut.
Right.
So I'm going to headbutt that wall until I go through it, kind of thing.
Right.
But no, I mean, it actually didn't take much away from the game or from my opinion of the game in doing this, because I knew exactly what I was getting myself in for. I'm looking at you, again, Spiritfarer.
Well, and it sounds like it was... It sounds like it wasn't an unfair challenge. It sounded like it was just a really solid, good challenge.
Yes, I would say it was a very hard challenge, especially the final boss who flies.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. It was a tough challenge, but it was also one of those satisfying challenges where it was like, okay, yeah, I do still got it.
Yeah. And now I'm 100% done.
Yes, I am stellar. I got my groove back, and now I'm uninstalling this game.
That's right.
Did you start a whole new game, or did you go through New Game Plus?
Started a whole new game, because New Game Plus, it amps everybody's health up by like 25%, so all of the enemies have 25% plus health. I didn't need that. So I started a new game and just went through that way. And it was fine. It was fun. It was great. I did play a couple of weeks ago. I totally forgot to talk about it. I did play Among Us.
Oh, yeah.
With my wife and a bunch of her friends, and then got Robin on the act as well.
Nice.
That game it's the IKEA furniture of video games. Which is to say, you don't play it with your significant other, because it's divorce the game.
Right. It's not great when you tell your wife she's looking sus.
Yeah, it's probably not great. Also, it's very offensive when you are, like, you're doing a task, your wife comes into the room, does a different task, and then you both leave the room at the same time. And I saw her do the task. I know the task has been done, so I'm following her around to make sure she is safe. At which point, she promptly called an emergency meeting, and I got vented into space.
Ah, true love.
Yes. So, it was, to quote her, I roll solo.
Fair enough, sure.
It was...
Expectations have been set.
Yes, it was genuinely fun. Obviously, everyone took it very lightheartedly. Everyone was having a laugh. It was the first time myself or Rob had played it, so it was hilarious. Like, when we were the killers and doing stuff that most killers don't do. Like, I didn't know this. There's cameras in the game, and you can be spotted on cameras murdering people.
Right. Or, like, entering vents.
So I just murdered people in the middle of corridors right where the cameras can see you. It's like, okay.
Hey, it's me, the killer.
Yeah. But it was
if you
fun.
kill them before they can call an emergency meeting and vent you, it's like Assassin's Creed, no witnesses.
That's right.
Well, we actually won, I think, one of those rounds because I killed 3 people in the corridors so quickly that, like,
oh, jeez,
there was nothing that could be done to stop us. It was great.
Man.
It's a fun game. I can see.
Yeah.
I'm glad whoever that random Twitch guy is who decided to randomly stream that game one day did it. because this game is now a lexicon of pop culture.
We were... Go ahead. Oh, we were talking about it the other day. I'm really... The developer's name is Innersloth. It's like a 3-person team or something. I'm really happy to see, number one, their 2-year-old and change game is super hot now. And number two, I'm really happy to see that they were working on Among Us 2 and had all the improvements and all this extra stuff they're working on. And this one got hot and they're like, okay, we scrapped that. We're not going to work on it. We're just going to bring all that stuff in the first one because that's the one that you guys are playing. I feel like so many developers could have potentially made that mistake of saying like, all right, here's the brand new one, Among Us 2. And it's like, this game's $5. The level of entry is so low for so many people. You did the right thing by saying like, we're just going to focus on this. We're going to put more stuff in it. We're going to make all the improvements to the one that people are playing. I think that's really smart.
Also, it's free with ads on Android.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, on iOS, it's free too.
Like, just do it.
And on Steam, it's only $5. Like it's the level of investment there is so low. It's really smart.
And we also followed house rules, which is to say, if you die, you're not allowed to talk. So we were all in a party, and the seconds that you died, mute yourself. Not allowed to talk. In fact, you can't talk. Period, unless a meeting is called, and only then can you talk.
It's so funny because like I watch a couple people that I like on YouTube. Every once in a while I'll watch their like highlight clips they put on YouTube. And I love so many times when someone dies and everyone's in that screen where it's like all 8 or 10 people. I love a lot of times someone will just come on and be like, well. It's like, oh no. Someone's got the hot facts here. Let's go.
My favorite part is when that screen pops up and everyone is already yelling into their mics. So it's just like this cacophony of noise until someone's like, all right, everyone shut up. What happened?
That's so good.
Yeah, it was genuinely a fun experience. I'm glad I did it. I might not... Don't get me wrong, I ain't going to be running no jelly beans down an obstacle course this year, but I'm really glad I did manage to slice some throats in space, which is... Yeah. Again, officer, if you're listening, I apologize. Context is everything in this case.
Yeah.
But no, Among Us is a genuinely fantastic game. Like, I really enjoy playing it. I played probably the weirdest one here. I played Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, okay.
Because my wife was playing, and... There's a reason I have dropped off from things like Siege and like Rocket League, is because if I'm playing, for example, if I'm playing Rocket League duos with my wife, she will score all the goals, I will drive around in circles, occasionally hit the ball, and we'll win.
Right. I helped.
The way it goes. Yeah.
Right.
I get a participation medal, and that's fine.
Right.
But then I get the vitriol of those communities spouting messages towards me of, get carried, get good, oh my god, you're so terrible. It's like, dude, if I wanted to put 600 hours into the game right now and then be better than you, I could. But unfortunately, I do a video game podcast, which means I can't just focus on one game for the rest of my life. Please get a life.
Also, like I'm the one that got 10 assist trophies in this match. I know what I am. I didn't. She scored all 10 goals. I know what I'm doing.
But that and the Rainbow Six Siege community are very, very toxic, we'll say.
Yes.
In fact, let's just say online communities as a whole are toxic.
Yeah, by and large, yes.
Most of them are. Not the TVGPs. They are all okay.
No, that's the best community on the internet, of course. And like the No Man's Sky community seems to be largely positive because it's a lot of like, we're in this together. It was so bad for so long. We made it. It's so good.
Like the only time I've seen a better community interaction with a different community would be Animal Crossing and Doom communities, because that was
oh god, that was so good
this year.
Yep.
But I don't play a lot of Siege with them because generally speaking they're either, let me see if I get my terminology correct here. They're either rolling with a 5-stack, or that's 2 of them and 3 randoms. And I don't want to be the third one, because then I'm going to have 2 randoms just sending me messages and team killing me because I'm just not that good at Siege. and I admit that fact. I used to be good at Siege, but now there is literally double the number of operators since the last time I played it.
There's so many. It's like the Smash character selection screen. There's like 45 characters in there.
It's worse. It's so terrible.
It's crazy. I love it. I love to see, before anyone says, like, how dare you? It's like, no, I love seeing Siege supported because I think it's a genuinely great game that I wish I had time to get into, at least a very little bit, especially with it being on Game Pass now or soon.
Yeah,
now?
It just got into now, so get ready for Smurf accounts is how my wife phrased it.
Oh god, yeah, jeez. But like, I love seeing that a game that, especially one that had, Siege didn't have a bad launch, but it didn't have like the hottest.
Stellar. Yeah.
Yeah, it like didn't have the hottest launch. It wasn't like No Man's Sky launch where it's like, you lied.
Well, let's talk about the fact that it's a $60 game that you had to unlock all the rest of the operators in. It was a full game with microtransactions from the get-go.
I forgot. Yeah.
Like, it had a problematic launch, to say the least.
And I love that it's so widely loved now. Like, the community is really robust, and there's just a ton of content in there. I think that's really great.
I mean, it does esports. Like, Siege is esports now, and that's genuinely a great thing. It's one of the positive sides of Ubisoft is they're willing to not beat a dead horse, and they're willing to give that dead horse some water and just keep it going as long as they can.
Right. And then beat it to death.
Yes. I mean, look at what happened to Evolve. We were talking about it last week. 2 weeks out of the gate, and already it was a failure. This thing could have gone the same way. And randomly, the birthday present I bought for my wife 6 years ago is still paying off to this day.
They're still sticking with For Honor, which is a game that, like, seemingly nobody cares about, but they're like, yeah, man, here's a brand new expansion coming out soon. It's like, oh, okay,
and
cool.
all their expansions are free as well, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Like, good on them. They've got the games and they're sticking with them, and that's the only thing that counts. I'm sure sooner or later the black line and the red line will cross each other over, and they'll start to sunset it and send the games to their old folks' homes.
I mean, it has to happen at some point.
Yeah, but Siege is getting a patch for the next gen. Like, that tells you everything you need to know about what their plans for Siege is going forwards.
Yep.
I feel bad for the developers of the Siege extra game because whatever that's called, Rainbow Six Quarantine, which I'm sure they're going to change the name of it now.
Oh, yeah. Boy, I'm looking forward to that one because that one seemed...
Me too.
I think that was the one I was really interested in.
3-player PvE, so 100% into that.
Yep.
Name change, I'm sure, is around the corner.
Guaranteed.
But, we played some Siege. Like, they had a 4-stack. They were playing with one random. I still have the game installed for this exact type of situation.
Right.
And
we need an extra. It's me.
I think I was actually playing Mortal Shell at the time, and I was getting frustrated with the last boss. And I saw that they were talking about someone, and there was one person on their team who kept getting the reverse friendly fire thing, which means now you can't shoot a friendly. If you shoot a friendly, you die. So I was like, is that a random? So I just watched the screen for a while because my wife has the voice notification in the corner on Xbox. So when someone talks, their name pops up. And I saw 3 names, and I was like, cool, so she's got her 5th. I'm just going to play for a little bit with them. I'm just going to jump in and play. Literally don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Right.
Don't know the names of any of the operators, even the Season 1 ones. The only one I know is Sledge, because his special is a sledgehammer, and he's English. That's the only reason I know him. Like, I don't know any of them. The guy with the big shield, which is like Katapone or something like that, I can't remember his name. It begins with a C. My wife would literally murder me if she heard me talking like this.
There's probably a guy named the Viscount in there. The
guy with the huge shield, who literally covers every part of his body with it. I only know him now by the name Babygate, which is my wife's name for him.
Right. Long-time listeners will remember Babygate stories.
Yes. I don't know the suave spy-looking dude, who I'm pretty sure is an American agent, who should be an English agent. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like, come on, guys.
I don't know his name. I don't know his special ability. All I know is my wife calls him Mr. President, so I refer to him as Mr. President.
Sure.
What about Anime Woman? What was her name? Ellie or whatever?
That might be Doki. Or Dokubi. I'm not sure.
It's my favorite thing. It's like the gaming equivalent of when someone shows like their mom a bunch of Pokemon and says like, what would you call all these ones? And they're just random names. It's like, oh yeah, here's Mr. President and Sledge and Tachanka. And
I'm just hoping that we can get Moon to talk about this long enough that you can hear his wife banging down the hallway and
she kicks the door open.
Oh no,
his name is Tachanka. Come on.
Actually playing Siege right now, so that's fine.
There you go.
She won't hear a thing. I could get a drill to the floor and she wouldn't hear it.
Right.
That's a name I know. I know Tachanka. And I know Tachanka because he's our Lord and Savior. Tachanka. It's the only reason I
remember it.
Because the internet memed him.
Oh, I remember it because you got some like charm that your wife really wanted on your first free roll.
It gets better. I still have that charm. She still doesn't have that charm. He's discontinued from Alpha Packs.
No. Please let me give it to you.
So, yeah, that happened. But now, like, there's so many more people in there, and you talking about the amount of people in the guessing games and stuff, we need to make a Rainbow Six Siege Guess Who.
100%.
Like, because...
Does he have a shield? No.
Does he have glasses? Tick, 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 tick.
Is he British? Tick, tick, tick.
Tick, 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 tick.
Right.
It's very easily doable.
Right.
Are they the shortest operator? No. Okay, so it's Mozzie's down then.
Right.
I don't know any of these people. I just don't. I feel so bad. But anyway, yes, I was playing with a bunch of pros, and I literally went 5 games without a kill. And then the very first kill I got, I was like, I've done it. I got a kill. I don't care what else happens today. I am happy with my 1 kill.
The Giants win the pennant.
And
yeah!
Then I got 2 more kills, so I'm perfectly happy with that.
Yep, flipping over a car at that point. Yeah!
Also, I utilized the wonderful skill of, I can't remember what it's called now, when you fire without looking down sights. Hip fire. There was a dude who literally had
you sound
almost...
like such an old man now.
Right. I didn't use what the kids call ADS.
Yeah. Honestly, it's because, like, on Apex Legends, my favorite gun is the Prowler, which is the SMG. And I prefer to hip fire with that when I have it on full auto, because it's compact enough where when I'm close to them, it doesn't matter if I'm looking down sights. It's gonna more than likely hit them, plus my movement speed is still 100%, so I don't slow down by looking down sights, and I'm pretty good at basically circle strafing around somebody while hip firing at them with the Prowler. So, like, it's literally me and this other dude in final round, and my wife takes him on, dies, but puts him down to like 3 HP, so he's literally needs to get sneezed on.
Right.
And he's got to plant the bomb, so I'm just sitting there crouched at one of the bomb locations, looking towards the direction he's likely to come from. It's like, as soon as I see movement, I'm just pulling the trigger. I'm not looking down sights. I'm literally just
close your eyes and fire, like, yeah!
100%. Because it was that moment that I realized why I struggle with Siege. It's because I cannot teach my brain to pull both triggers at the same time. I wait to start firing until I'm already looking down sights, or I start firing and then look down sights. I can't do them both at once, kind of thing. So as soon as the dude just ran out from this doorway, I just hip fired like crazy, fired a bunch of bullets. One of them got him, he died, and then we went around. It's like, I'm fine with that. Like, I am absolutely fine with hip fire. You call me scrub, call me loser, call me no skill. What? I don't care.
I'll call you winner.
That's exactly what happened. But no, it was fun. It was dumb. It was stupid. It was Siege. I'm terrible at it, and everybody else is so much better than me. And that's fine. Who's the dude who melts solid stuff now? Whatever. Let's move on to Siege. The final, there's a guy who's literally got it's like a welder, not a reverse welder, whatever that's called, a plasma
firestorm.
Thank you. A reverse welder.
I was gonna say, like, what? It fires backwards, so you burn yourself.
No.
Oh God, why would I carry this?
No, a welder takes 2 pieces of metal and puts them together. A plasma torch cuts it, so He's got essentially a plasma torch, and he uses it on hard walls.
Okay.
And like you can do smiley faces into like breaches and stuff like that with it. It's so stupid, hilarious, but stupid. Like I don't know these people. I just don't.
No,
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But yes, the final game I played this week was Space Crew. We talked about it last week. I officially started it this week. So you heard me talk about Bomber Crew a lot, a whole lot.
Really clicked with you.
Mm-hmm. Space Crew is Bomber Crew in space.
Okay.
It's basically the exact same game.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Because you've got a spaceship, you've got your crew, you level them up, you go on and you do the same. It's a well-refined sequel. It's got some good quality of life changes here and there. Controls are the same, structure of the gameplay is the same, leveling up is the same, upgrading your ship is the same. Like, it's just a nice, refined sequel to a game that I genuinely liked a lot. So
why mess with a good thing?
Yeah, I'm not going to complain. The only thing it's missing is that British World War II attitude, the hoi hoi ho ho pop pop cheerio kind of attitude that it had.
Right.
Like, that's the only thing it's missing. Instead, now you've got on the front cover a Picard wannabe and a Kirk wannabe sitting there.
Right.
No, it's a solid enough game. Like, it's got new mechanics for like the different areas that you go to. You like hyper jump from section to section to get to your mission objectives, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
and it's very much the same thing of like it's got the top down like
FTL style.
Yeah, the FTL style view where you can send people to different like terminals and have them do different jobs. But other than that, you're flying through space, you lock onto the alien ships with the left trigger, and then they auto fire different types of guns and all kinds. I've barely touched it so far. Like, I'm only like 5 or 6 missions in, but it feels and plays exactly like Bomber Crew did, and I'm fine with that. Plus, it's in space now,
yeah.
So I get to see the sun and the moon and fly to Uranus. And yes, I did do that deliberately.
Such a child.
This isn't Mass Effect 2. Come on.
Dude, there is a reason why there's a character called Babygate. Because I am a child.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, so far I'm only a little bit into it. I don't know if there's different ships. I don't know if there's different build options, stuff like that.
Right.
Honestly, no idea. And I'm fine with that at the moment. It does have the Elite Dangerous power thing going on, though, where you have pips of power and you can redirect them to different systems.
Oh,
shields and engines. Yeah.
And one of them you can take off is gravity. So everybody floats around the spaceship really slowly trying to get from point to point.
Great.
It's hilarious. And you can go repair the engines by putting on a spacesuit and everything else that happens. It's a solid game.
That sounds good.
Yes. Thank you, my wife, for purchasing said game for me. Thank you, T, for purchasing Mortal Shell for me.
Nice. All these kind gifts.
I think it's because he knows that I'm a fan of Souls Likes and haven't played one in a while. No, I will not play Bloodborne before you say anything, Nib.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Bloodborne Game Pass win.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. But no, Space Crew seems to be pretty solid. Like, I'm enjoying it so far. But that's pretty much all I've been playing. Monsieur Nib.
Okay. First game that I played this week was Fall Guys with my son.
Hey.
Yeah.
I saw your tweet.
I hate people in this game now.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to play more Fall Guys for this season because I hate Wall Guys, that specific game, so much. It has really ruined a lot of my enjoyment in this game.
It's only made worse because of the physics that are already in the game. Mm-hmm. So if you fall, you're fighting to get up, which means that since you're on the ground, everyone else is using you as a platform to get where they want to go. And
I don't mind the physics in this game 99% of the time. Like, a lot of times they're fun. Sometimes you're like rolling around a little bit more than you should, but it's all kind of goofy and it kind of doesn't matter largely. But on Wall Guys, after the fourth person that like Mario bounces off of my head, I just want to like break my controller in half. And I never get mad at games ever, but like I'm just trying to jump on a box and people are like, all right, let's go, boing. And it's like, no, God, please. It's just see like the qualified number keep going up. It's like, no, please.
Is this the same round where everyone's a bit grabby? Like everyone's a bit of a
that's everywhere.
God, like I wrote in my tweet, like, keep your hands to yourselves, jelly beans. Like, stop grabbing me, man.
The biggest issue is that there are people that purposefully join the game and they're not competing at all. What they'll do, I've been running into, is that they will stand in front of the next checkpoint.
Yep.
And they will grab you to try to stop you from proceeding on.
Yep.
And a lot of what I had happening was that I'll get grabbed and then some obstacle will hit me and knock us both off. And then I have to restart the last part of the course that I just finished because this douchebag decided that this is what he was doing for this game.
Well, one of my favorite things is like when you and someone else are like third or fourth or fifth and you're like, both of you are racing towards the finish line and they like grab you and race in front of you. And it's like, you don't get anything else. We both can qualify. Like you don't get more because you're fourth and I'm fifth. That like you get more if you're in first. But like we're both gonna win. Like get your hands off me.
It is funny seeing how other people try to counter that. Where it's like anytime I was ahead of the pack, where I started at the front, I never ran into any of the issues. It was just me and 5 other people running through the course. And it's funny because you would start to kind of get close to each other. And then both of you would deviate away from each other.
Yep, you're given like a foot between each other where it's like, I don't know if this dude's on the up and up. I'm going to go over here.
But yeah, it's either you're in the middle of the pack and that's where everyone gets handsy, or you're at the front where everyone who's at the front's trying to actually play to win, or you're in the way back where you can skirt by the people who are handsy because they are already fighting with somebody, so you can just kind of run around them and...
You see 3 people grabbing each other at the same time. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go to the next seesaw. Have fun, guys.
Yeah. Other than that, though, the new maps and stuff that they have, obstacles and all that, seem pretty fun.
Yeah.
So I have no issues with the game. It's just the community right now.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of it is like this. I feel like a lot of it is people that are only playing Fall Guys and they're already bored. So it's like, I'm going to do that thing where I'm like, the thing that drives me nuts, when someone will stand in front of the finish line, and let's say like 43 people are going to qualify, 42 people have already qualified, and they're like cheering the person on, like, come on, you can do it. And then right before they finish right before they cross the finish line, they scoot across, and it's just like, yeah, that was the last one. Middle fingers. It's just like, cool. That just makes you a real monster.
I always assume that's going to happen.
Yeah,
that's why 100%. I always laugh when they can't make it.
Yep.
I had seen one person, because I had already qualified, but I had seen one person doing that exact same thing. Mm-hmm. And just as they were turning around across the finish line before the other guy, he ended up arcing a little too wide and ran into one of the obstacles and got knocked off the map, and the guy that he was waving through ran past and qualified. So.
That's the good karma I like seeing.
Yeah.
Fall Guys is still really good. Yeah, Fall Guys is still really good. Wall Guys is exceptionally frustrating in a way that a lot of those games typically aren't.
Yeah. Well, and is that the first time you've ever had to grab and lift yourself up on anything?
Yeah, because you could do it like to get around, like on Whirligig, where there's those little like yellow platforms. You could jump up and pull yourself up to sort of get around that. But this is the first one where you like have to move the boxes. You have to jump and grab on walls. The walls lower over time, so eventually you can just jump over them. But like everyone's going to be 4 sections ahead of you anyway. So
this was the first time that I've ever had to actually I didn't even know we could do that. I was sitting there trying to figure out try to line the boxes up so you can jump from one to the other.
Right.
And then I see people like grabbing the side and pulling themselves up, and then I had to figure that. It's like, okay, I know how to grab it. How do I pull up? Which is apparently just hold up on the D-pad and your character will pull up.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting here like tapping square, tapping X. I'm
it's funny. He's not. The game only has 3 buttons that uses square, X, and R2. So it's like how it has to be one of these.
So it's all right.
Yeah, it's still good.
The next game that I'm kind of playing, I actually set this up, and this is going to turn out to be another reason for why I can never play games on my computer, is I bought Minecraft for my computer. For a very, very specific reason.
Okay. Mods.
So, servers. Yeah. So, I have Minecraft Java Edition on my computer now. And this is because I had watched a streamer who was showing the Disneyland Imagine Fun, which is a 1-to-1 ratio Disneyland server.
Oh, cool.
And the rides work.
Oh,
so
wow.
You go through and check out the rides. They have the audio for it and everything. Basically, when you log into the server, it pops up with this little thing. You click yes. It opens up a internet tab for your preferred browser. You click connect, and it's playing real Disneyland audio.
That's
through
wild.
Your speakers. So you're getting the actual audio while going through the park, and as you're going through the rides, you're getting whatever audio those rides have and all that stuff.
Wow.
It's like, oh, that's actually really cool. These people put a lot of time into this.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah, so I showed it to my wife Friday night, who had been drinking, who immediately demanded that I get this running on the computer. So I'm like, okay, well, this is homework that I wasn't expecting. So
right.
Went through, verified. For this one to work, you have to have the Java edition for PC. This doesn't work on the Windows edition, and it doesn't work on any of the consoles or any of that stuff.
Okay.
You also specifically need, at a minimum, version 1.12.2, which isn't an issue. Once you get that going, you're good to go.
Nice.
Have fun. You earn, doing the rides, you earn currency.
Oh, jeez.
And there's like leaderboards and stuff in front of every ride that tells you, okay, this is the person who's number one because he's already ridden this thing for like 5 days worth of time. And if you're number one, you get a statue of your current character in front of the ride with a name.
Oh, wow.
So there's all these crazy people who have ridden these rides like, I don't know, 6 weeks. And we're just checking it out for the first time. So.
Right.
But the currency that you get, you can use to buy stuff from the vendors in the game. And they have all the Disney shops and all the Disney street vendors in there. So, like, you can go in there and buy a churro from a street vendor, which lets you run faster for, like, 120 seconds or something like that. So you're just blazing through this park, you know, getting from one side to the other. You can buy costume stuff for your characters. That way you can run around with your Mickey hat or whatever, doing, you know, get your lightsaber, you know?
Oh, wow.
Oh, and with sound effects. So this is a really awesome thing that my wife probably played for way too long, because then I woke up Saturday afternoon and she found the Disney World pack that I was talking about. So I'm like, okay, let me mess around with that. Let me try and get this to, you know, see if I can get this working. The Disney pack is the MC Parks pack. You need the same versions and everything for it to run. And this is a 1-to-1 scale of Disney World.
Oh.
We had been to last year for Christmas, so we got to see all the Christmas decorations and stuff. And that's the other thing, too. Both parks right now, they change it seasonally. So right now, all the Halloween stuff is up in the park.
Jeez.
When Christmas stuff hits, all the Christmas stuff will be up. And it's all
wild.
the same sounds and all that stuff. So you've got, like, Oogie Boogie sitting there at the front of Disneyland. And right now you've got, like, all the weird fall Halloween themed stuff happening in Disney World.
Yeah, because I was going to say, Disneyland, isn't that the Nightmare Before Christmas? They turn everything into that during that time period.
Yep. They got the giant Mickey pumpkin and all that stuff at Main Street and all that fun stuff. So with the Disney World, it's set. I don't know if it's the same group or company or whoever that's doing this that made both of them, or if they're both just kind of related. So it's pretty much set up the same exact way. You earn currency going through the rides. You can do stuff. My wife got a fast pass, you know, watch that she bought the Ariel skin for, which she couldn't figure out how to get that. So I had to go through settings for her so that she could get the Ariel skin pack on her watch, on her fast pass, which she was happy as a little squirrel girl when I got that figured out for her. But yeah, it's just running around checking things out. They're constantly adding rides. There's I think in Disneyland currently, Small World, they are still building. So they have, the building and everything built, but they're still building the ride inside. So it's closed off right now, and they got a whole coming soon thing, estimated time it'll be completed and all that
That's
stuff.
cool.
So they've got a bunch of random stuff in there. My wife was actually mad because both the Little Mermaid rides or showcases or whatever happened to still be being built both in the land and world for this. She couldn't go to either one of them, so she was not thrilled about that, but she loved everything else about it. So I have all the information because I had to set all this crap up. So anybody out there is interested in trying to get this to work, it's free. You don't have to pay anything. You just have to put in the server IP, address, and then you're basically good to go. So if you're interested, send me a message in Discord, tweet at me. I'll send you the information as I found it. So, but
nice.
It's really cool. My wife and daughter have played way too much of it. Next game I was playing Ghost of Tsushima. I was doing more of the Legends mode. Last week I said that I didn't play the co-op story mode. Apparently I lied because I didn't know what I was talking about because it was just my first time in there. I was thinking the co-op story mode, the way they were talking, was you doing the actual in-game original game story missions with a friend.
Oh, okay.
No, this is in the Legends mode, there is a story mode separate from the original story, and that's the 2-player co-op.
Gotcha.
The 4-player co-op is the survival mode, which I played some of that this week. But the co-op, I've done 4 out of the 8 or 9 stories that they have so far.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, they're probably about like maybe 25 minutes, maybe half an hour, going in there fresh, not knowing exactly what you have to do, because they're pretty decent sized chunks that you're doing. So those are fun, messing around with the character skills and all that stuff. The survival mode is pretty much every survival mode that I've ever played, except for this one's the different type where you have to take over like these 3 points, and then once you take them over, then you have to defend them. So it's not like, your normal wave survival. It's just got this extra little caveat there, which wasn't that hard. I mean, it was me as a Ronin, 2, what are they called? Assassins, and I think an archer were the classes that we went in as. And it wasn't difficult. I mean, it wasn't easy by any stretch, but it wasn't anything that we were having issues with. None of us died hardcore or anything. So
right. It
was pretty fun. It just keeps you on your toes. Boss waves still suck no matter what survival mode you're playing.
That's right.
It's better because this thing will send you when it spawns the next wave, you'll see like this red light shine in this general direction, so you know where they're coming from. And then it's basically these hordes of ghosts that are coming at you, or zombies, however you want to look at it. So you see like this actual wave of things coming at you, and you're sitting there trying to pick them off with your bow before they get to your area, and then you just go into the melee. And it's still really fun to jump off a cliff and assassinate somebody.
Yeah, I mean, that never gets old.
So, a lot of fun. I will play this to completion probably. I've only got a couple more stories. I don't know how in-depth they're planning. Like, I don't know when the next time they're going to update this or add more stuff. There's challenges that they have a tab for, but they don't have anything in there yet. It just says coming soon.
Okay.
So they're obviously planning on adding stuff to it. I just don't know. I haven't looked up a roadmap or anything, so I don't know if this is going to be, in 2 months from now we'll see something else, or 2 years from now we'll see something else.
Right.
So, but still really fun. Check it out. It's a great game. Last game that I played this week, which these guys know, is Genshin Impact.
Yes.
Because I've just been playing way too much of this game. I am currently adventure rank 37.
Oof.
My world level is 4. My main party is anywhere between 60 and 70 levels.
Wow.
My weapon levels are anywhere between 60 and 70.
Oh, geez.
I am missing one Geoculus.
Geomonculus?
Yeah, whatever it is
Something.
that you need to update the statue.
The yellow ones.
Dude, I went through this map, okay?
And of course it's only one.
Yeah, every GD time. So I went through this map where you can check them off as you're finding them.
Right.
4 hours later, I'm missing like 5 of these things.
Yeah.
One of them I know where it's at.
Yes.
Because you had to do that stupid pillar mission, which I did finally beat.
Oh, nice.
Don't know how I pulled that off, but I went from not being able to keep that thing alive past that second wave to I beat all, 3 or 4 waves with that pillar still being at 79% health.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, where the hell was this?
Right, you just messed them up, man.
Yeah. So I beat that mission, which gets you one of those, but at that point I was missing 4. And it's all in this area, the second map, where there's all kinds of verticality.
Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, that's why I love this map. I don't love it specifically for this reason right now, because you have to be within a certain range for these stupid things to pop up on your map. So if you're too high or too low, you're not going to find it on your map, and that's you can't see it.
The worst part for anyone that's not playing is they show up on the mini map as like this yellow, like diamondy star icon. So like you at least know that there's one around you somewhere, but you don't know, is it below? Is it hidden in some breakable rocks? Is it, behind a challenge or something? But
it's the only icon for some reason that does not have a mini arrow either above it or below it, denoting that it is above you or below you.
That's true.
Don't know why. It is the only one. So after spending all that time, I was like, all right, I'm just going to go do something else. Whatever. It's like, I just need to not do that for right now. Haven't found any of them until just before we started the podcast. I found 2 more.
Oh.
And then I found a 3rd one.
Okay.
So now I'm down to this last stupid one that I don't know where it is on this massive map.
Right. Oh, man.
So that sucks. And I need to upgrade this statue to 10 so that I get this orb thing, so that way I can finish out this other quest, because you need 9 of them to do this one last quest that I have.
Oh, wow.
Whatever.
Genshin Impact is very good.
Yeah. I will probably Google search missing one of these, and everyone will be like, it's this one. Everyone misses this one.
Right. It's on top of a tree somewhere, and it's like, oh, yeah.
Or I'll get the one where everyone's missing one, and it's all in different locations. And this is why I hate games when they put collector stuff in the game, and it's above 20, and they have no way in-game for you to find them.
Right. Yeah, because, if it's, number 197 on that map, and you Google search, it's like Genshin Impact Geomonculus 197. That doesn't mean anything to anyone. Nope. I mean, you might be lucky and find it on YouTube, where it's like, oh, I use this map, and here's all of them, but who knows?
But yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I did finally complete there was a side mission or something that you had to do to be able to unlock co-op, and it's not I could have people come into my games, and there's certain things with co-op that I could do, but I could not go into the co-op menu until I completed this one mission.
Oh, okay.
Which was, if you do it early enough, it's not hard, but of course I was at the point where my world level went up and my characters weren't ready for it. But there's these 3 towers that you have to clear. One of them is, light these torches in a certain pattern. That way you get them all lit up, and then you do 3 of those, and then you get this item, and you drop it off at this pillar, and then you move on to the next one. The second one was a climbing game. Well, not really a game, but basically climbing, where it's like, okay, here's these pillars for you to climb to get up to this item, but it's not so simple because, hey, there's these platforms here. So you can't just climb a pillar, get to the top, jump to another one. You had to climb a wall, jump over to a pillar, climb up a little bit, jump over to this broken step kind of thing. So it was...
Gotcha.
It wasn't a straight forward climbing thing. You had to do it a couple times to figure out where you needed to go and fight the camera so that you would go the correct way.
Right.
Did that one, no problem. The last tower was the time challenges, where it's like, okay, beat these monsters within this certain amount of time. And I've been complaining for the longest time that every time my world level goes up, anytime I get a challenge mission that's timed, I can't do anything about it.
Right.
I managed to beat the first floor. The second floor took several tries, and the third floor was just infuriating.
Was it just wizards?
You get one. So it's basically it's a mix between ice and water.
Oh no.
Which means that you're constantly fighting being frozen, because as soon as you get wet and something with ice hits you, you're frozen. So you have to pound on, one of your keys to break out of it. I could kill everything else except for that stupid water mage, because you have to break through his barrier, and then you can start dealing him damage. And you have to do this fight in like 30 or 40 seconds or something like that. I mean, it's like real tight.
Yeah.
And fighting one of those mages just by themselves is a general pain. So they don't do you damage. It's just breaking. Well, I mean, they do, but it's just trying to break through their barrier so that you can actually do them damage is the biggest pain in the butt. And I always hate fighting those things, especially when there's more than one of them and they're opposite elements. So you're constantly being frozen or caught on fire or electrocuted or some dumb BS that screws up your roll. Whatever. I managed to finally get through that. I basically just unrolled with everyone's ultimates at the start, knocked out most of them, managed to get the mage down, and killed them within like 3 seconds of time expiring.
Oh, jeez. Nice.
So that opened up so that I could do co-op, which means now I can just go into any dungeon, select which, level I want to be at, and then just hit square, and I can start matchmaking, and then I can do the dungeons with anybody else who's matchmaking for that.
Oh, cool.
Which makes dungeons a heck of a lot easier.
I'm trying to think. I've seen that option to like start with matchmaking. I don't know if I've ever picked it to see if it works. I can't remember if I did that quest or not.
You should. It might work. Like, the only thing that this seemed to prevent me from doing was just going into the pause menu and clicking the co-op tab. That seemed to be the only thing that stopped me from doing. But
weird.
Yeah, doing co-op with the dungeons, you've got 4 other players. Chances are they're a lot more powerful than you are, or you're the most powerful one out of them. Either way.
The old Monster Hunter matchmaking.
Exactly. Right. You go in there and you just wreck shop. And
that's cool.
I haven't gotten any slowdown on my PS4, but I've seen a couple people on PC who have the ability to play this, or on mobile especially, but they have the ability to play this, but they're not running like a high-spec machine. So when you have everyone blowing off their ultimates at the same time, and it's just nothing but elements clashing and things synergizing, and they're just like bogging down trying to keep up with what's happening. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But other than that, not really a whole lot else. I'm just kind of dinking around with it, which is great because I finally got to the point where I only have to log in to do my dailies. I'm still slowly leveling things up. I'm nowhere near any of that fun crap, but I'm not, despite where my adventure rank is at, I'm not going hardcore with this game. It's just the only thing that I've really been playing because I just like wandering around exploring in it. And I'm at the point now where it's like, okay, I've done most everything. I'm pretty much just waiting for the new update to come out in November. And now I have another game coming out next week.
Right. And now I can take a break.
So I did do like 3 polls on the Klee banner, and I managed to get every banner character except for the main banner character.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. That checks out.
Yeah. So I'm like, whatever. And I'm not one of the, I would love to have them. But I'm not one of those people that's flipping S right now because I don't have them. I'm not one of those people that spent $400 on this game to get polls and still didn't get her.
Yeah, like I have enough currency to do a 10 poll on that banner. And like I'm looking at all the characters that are there. And sort of like, I think I'll sit this one out because I have a really solid team right now that I really like. I don't really need anybody else right now. None of them seem like the incredibly overpowered, like you have to have this one because it makes stuff easier. Like none of the characters are really like that. So it's like, I'll wait for a character that I like the look of a little better.
I just like collecting the characters as I can.
Yeah.
And if I get her, great. If I don't, whatever.
Here's this firebombing toddler. It's like, come on in.
Maybe she'll show up, in a different banner later on.
Sure,
maybe this is the only time I can get her. I don't care.
Yeah, waiting for the first year anniversary banner where it's like, everybody's coming back. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for my main party too, I've just been rolling with the main character, Amber, Barbara for healing, and Noelle for my tank. That's it.
Yeah, mine is main character Amber, Barbara, and Thyshel, whoever that lady is with the electro archer with the like electricity raven. That she's really good against water stuff.
Well, I think all of them. I think Amber is like a quote unquote C class, and I think the highest tier class that I have is a B, maybe an A, because I don't remember what everyone put the main character at. But I'm just rolling with this group because I wanted to see how feasible. Like, do you have to have the god tier characters to be able to do crap in this game?
Right.
Guess what? No, you don't, because
thankfully,
I think I have one of the S tier characters. I don't even use them.
And the main character is really good. Like, just the person they give you is really solid.
Yeah. So that's all I've been playing this week.
All right. I haven't talked about Destiny 2 in quite a while because this has been like the 6-month-long season since Beyond Light, the new expansion that comes out in 2 weeks, since that got delayed by a couple months. So a lot of it is just sort of like, I'm playing on Thursday with the small group, I'm raiding on Friday with the raid group we have now, and kind of not really playing the rest of the week because kind of done with everything. I got the 2020 title, which is basically like the 2019 last title, or 2019 title from last year. It's basically the wrap up of everything that happened this year and a whole bunch of new stuff. So what the raid group and I have been doing lately has been going through all of the old raids that are going away here in a couple weeks and sort of giving a shot at most of them. We had 2 people drop out for this last week's one. So from the community, Huddled Terror joined us, and TVGP alumnus Brad joined us for that run. We knocked out the Crown of Sorrow raid, which is one of my favorites, even though the community doesn't seem to like it. All 5 people hadn't done it before, so they all seemed to enjoy it, and it was a really good time. So mostly just kind of treading water until it's like waiting for the new consoles. It's like I don't really want to start a lot of new stuff because I got this new stuff coming out in like a couple weeks that's going to run all this stuff better. So maybe I'll just play a lot of Binding of Isaac. I feel like I'm doing that in Destiny 2, where it's like new expansion's coming out in a couple weeks. So like, why burn myself out on this game if I'm going to be playing a whole lot of it in a couple weeks with ice powers? Like, why not just take a break? So that's been going super well. Fortnite has a brand new event, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is because it kind of stinks. It is Fortnitemares, and it is exactly like the Apex Legends mode, where when people die, they respawn as like zombies or skeletons or shadows or whatever.
Well, by coincidence, that also started in Apex Legends this week.
Hey, there you go. The real bummer of it is it's a fine mode, because when you respawn as the shadows, you get to hunt down the regular players, and you get all these additional movement. You jump super high, you move super fast, you have like a dash move, you're slashing with some claws. It's kind of cool. But there are still weekly challenges this week when it launched. So there's one that's like, you need to land at this place and then finish in the top 25. Well, that's a little bit tough when people can respawn after they die as shades, and you're not entirely sure how to finish in the top 25. Like, can you do it as a shadow? Can you do it as a person? You don't really know. And that becomes a problem because they replaced all of the modes with Fortnitemares. So solo, duo, squads, all of that has been replaced. Thankfully, the 50v50 mode, they brought that back to just the normal mode, so you can do some of that stuff there. But that's kind of a bummer that I don't think there are that many weeks left in the season. So sort of like, well, I want to get to 100. I'm at like rank 89 right now. It's like I really want to keep pushing slowly but steadily to 100, and losing out on these 50,000 XP bonuses, which is like almost an entire level. That's kind of a bummer. And this event lasts until like November 5th or something. So it's like another week and a half. It's like I get it. Like, you have this cool mode. Please just let me play regular Fortnite and leave this as like one of the limited time modes. But I did unlock Mystique, and I just did all of her like awakening challenges. So now I can use her emote where she changes herself to look like one of the other player characters in your match, which like grants you no real bonus or advantage, but it just looks cool. So Fortnite's still great. Waiting to play that on the new consoles. Last game I played is I finished the Solitaire Conspiracy. This is the Mike Bithell game. I sat down to play a little bit more. I was like, maybe I'll just play like another match or two, and I just finished the whole thing. Steam says I finished it in 4 hours, which a game was only $10, so like I feel like that's number one. I finished a game, which is great, and it wasn't like a bajillion hours, and I really liked it. I think there was another person that got introduced about halfway through in the story to sort of sit alongside Greg Miller's character. It was Greg Miller's character, unfortunately, didn't finish out the game as strong as he started the game, which is kind of a bummer. But the story was fun. It was a little predictable, but I don't think it was predictable in a bad way. It was just sort of like, yeah, all right, of course that happened. And like that was kind of fun. But so the whole idea behind the game is you have multiple sets of cards, and each set is a spy group that's good at one thing. So like this one's really good at espionage, this one's good at infiltration, this one is just a group of AI spies that are all about hacking other networks. This group is all about being super fast getaway drivers, and each one of those sets has a special power associated with them. So the Jack, Queen, and King cards, when you put those on a stack of cards on the playing field, not the ones in the middle that you're laying cards onto, it'll do something specific. And as you progress in the game, you get more and more groups of cards that you can bring in until it maxes out at 4. And those 4 set ones were really good. Like, to me, that's kind of the highlight of the game is here's just a ton of cards, and here's a bunch of cards that you can get into a better position. Like, one of the groups of cards has a power where, and it sounds like it's the opposite of what you want to do, is it shuffles that stack of cards so the lowest numbers are at the bottom and the highest cards are at the top. When it's like, well, that's the opposite of what I want to do because I need those lower number ones. But if you combine that with one of the other cards where it's, if you put it on, how do I explain this? If you put it on there are like 4 different symbols basically for each set. If you put it on a set, it'll take, no matter where it is on the playing field, it'll take the next card from that suit and toss it onto the set of cards where you're trying to go. So you can you could start combining these stuff in these card sets in really interesting ways. As I was finishing it, they just put out another patch where they introduced like Campaign Plus, which is an optional thing you can turn on where you have a turn limit. So whenever you finish it, it's like, oh, you finished that one in 60 turns or 110 or 150 or whatever. This one will say like, all right, here's this level. You have 85 turns to do it in. You have 35 turns, something like that. There's also a leaderboard mode that I didn't get into because I'm not really interested in that. And there's a skirmish mode that is basically like, here, pick up to 4 decks and just go play some solitaire. So I really recommend this. It obviously wasn't super long at 4 hours. It never gets super, super complicated, which I really appreciated. It's not like, all right, here's the final boss of the game and it's just nearly impossible. It's like, nope, you're just playing solitaire the whole time, and solitaire is still fun. So go go pick up Solitaire Conspiracy. They just showed like a roadmap of the next couple things they're going to be putting into the game over the next 3 months, and it sounds like it has sold well enough that they're going to stick with it for quite a while. So go check it out. It's really good.
Is there a battle pass?
Nope. None of that. Just I don't know if he's made anything that has anything like that, because it's been Thomas Was Alone, Volume, John Wick Hex, and this are like his four big titles. So nothing crazy in any of those. But that's all I've been playing. Let's take a break. Let's talk releases for the week of October 26th, 2020. Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 4 comes out for the PS4, finishing out the quadrilogy.
There's so many games.
Yeah, it's the last one in the Cold Steel series.
Well, it's the last one in the Cold Steel series.
Right.
In the Legend of Heroes,
it's like the 15th.
Series, it's wrapping everything up that's happened before all into this game.
Oh, okay.
So everything's coming together in this game.
It's all coming together. Yeah.
Yes.
The one of my most anticipated games this year, easily, Watch Dogs Legion comes out PC, PS4, Xbox One, Stadia with a free update to PS5 and Series X/S. I'm so excited about this, and I am really waiting until I get my PS5 to start it, but I probably will not be able to.
Away.
I know, but like I really want to play it right now. I'm very, very, very excited for it, and I'm also very excited to see if they pull this whole thing off recruiting people out in the world and see how that plays out.
In all honesty, I'm debating on this one. Because at the end of the day, there's been a lot of big purchases in my life recently, so I'm probably looking at one of the new games coming out over the next 2 months, which means it's this or it's Valhalla.
Yeah, I'd say Watch Dogs 2 and Valhalla.
Well, that's the thing is, I have two for Watch Dogs. And it was one of those things where I was actually talking with the boys about this, and which by the way, I also played Dwarves by Flaylight, whatever that game is called, Deep Rock Galactic.
Nice.
Thank you. My brain is mush, like literally mush.
Hey man, it's 2020. It's all good.
What I was talking with them about is like, I really want to play Legion, but I feel like I should play 2 before I play Legion. But then if I play 2 and then Legion, I'm going to get Watch Dogs
super burnt out. Yeah. But just think, by the time you finish 2 and you recover from that burnout, Legion is going to be cheap.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And buy Valhalla, because I that seems really great.
Yeah, they've done the Assassin's Creed good with the past 3 games.
Yeah.
I'm curious if they can keep that up.
Fingers crossed, because I also have that pre-ordered. Next game is the Dark Pictures anthology Little Hope, comes out PC, PS4, and Xbox One. This is the third one? Second? Oh, because it got delayed. Right. I'm very excited to see how this second one goes, because the first one was fairly well received. And I sort of hope that each one of them gets a little bit better, so everyone can play more of their games. Pikmin 3 Deluxe comes out on the Switch, which is... Pikmin is one of those series that I know I would really love, and I just have never played any of them for some reason. So, it's a bummer. And lastly, but certainly not least, Umahawa Kawase Fresh comes out on the PS4.
Really?
That is... What?
I don't know
is your
what
phone
that
again?
game is. Yeah, well, yes, my phone.
It's
but also I don't know what that game is.
It's like the precursor to Bionic Commando. It's this it's this schoolgirl has like a whip that she swings around on. They're really good games that they never really got rebranded here and released back when they released on like the NES and the Genesis and stuff. So they never caught off here like Bionic Commando did. So now they're re-releasing these brand new versions on a bunch of consoles, and they're still getting ignored, unfortunately.
Okay. Question. Is Senpai in the whip?
You're fired?
Here. This
is
what the case looks like.
Okay.
Yeah. It is it is anime Bionic Commando. And they're really good. I played one of them, and they're really very good. Senpai in the whip. Moving on to news stories. Gears 5 is getting a huge update when the Xbox Series X and S launches. They've been focusing a lot on the multiplayer, the versus stuff, really trying to continue to push for that to be big. And hasn't really done any like single player stuff. So the first big update here, New Game Plus, there's 2 new difficulty modes, Iron Man, which is your typical Iron Man, which is if you die, you're done, which sounds horrible, and Inconceivable, which I almost don't want to know anything about, because I feel like if the Gears series has named something Inconceivable, it's going to be really mean.
I think they've had Inconceivable before, and it was mean.
Yeah. New character skins, new weapon skins, your Jack upgrades carry over. So if you want to play Iron Man, sounds like fully upgrade Jack in a normal playthrough and then kind of carry him over to New Game Plus so you don't get immediately vaporized. Mutators, like the one they showed off was Big Head mode, and then some new achievements. They are also going to do 120 FPS support in Versus mode on both the Series X and S. So that's going to be nice for multiplayer. You can replace Marcus in the campaign with hugely noted Gears of War character Batista, including all of Marcus's voiceover. Batista will be doing that through the entire game. So that's kind of wild in a way that I really respect, because it's not just Batista with Marcus's voice. It's like, no, man, we got him in the booth. He read a whole bunch of lines. Both Series X and S will see a reduction of latency by 36% in campaign and 57% in versus, which is something that I don't think I was expecting, but that's a really interesting thing to say, like, yeah, controls are going to be a little bit snappier. So that's interesting. And then last but not least, they're getting a story add-on in December featuring 3 characters in the escape mode, which is a mode I had forgotten exists in that game.
I haven't heard anyone talk about that mode outside of E3.
Yeah, I think I heard some people play it and say, like, it's fine, but I won't be playing more of it.
I talked about it on this show.
Yeah, that's right. And I think your impression was, it's fine and I won't be playing more of it. Yeah. Estimated to be about 3 to 4 hours long and no word on price. That's cool to see Gears 5 getting a whole bunch of new stuff, because I feel like, not that Gears 5 sort of got ignored, but I feel like if you're going to get a Series X and maybe you didn't play Gears 5, you probably should, because it's going to look better, it's going to run real smooth, and Gears 5 is really good. And I feel like a lot of people skipped it, and you shouldn't, because Gears 5 is really great. Next news story here. After 30 years of dating, Devolver Digital has acquired Crow Team. They've been working together for around 3 decades, and Devolver has finally scooped them up, made it official. Terms were not disclosed, which isn't too much of a surprise, but Devolver has stated that Crow Team would keep, quote, total creative freedom, end quote, under their new ownership, which, if you're going to buy Crow Team, like, just leave them alone. Like, let them just do what they're doing. Because Crow Team is currently working on more Serious Sam, of course, a new IP, and Talos Principle 2, which, after us playing it this year on Game Club, I'll be buying Talos Principle 2 as soon as it comes out.
It's a hell of a game.
Yeah, that first one is really good. And last but not least, Phil Spencer talks about the future of Xbox and xCloud options. This one's really interesting. This isn't him making an announcement or whatever. It's this hypothetical stuff that Phil Spencer talks about every once in a while, where he says, quote, I think you're going to see some lower priced hardware as part of our ecosystem when you think about streaming sticks and other things that somebody might want to just go plug into their TV and play xCloud. You can imagine us even having something we just included in the Game Pass subscription that gave you an ability to stream xCloud games to your television and buying the controller, end quote. I think this is really interesting because I think when you look at Microsoft, especially as a new generation of consoles is coming out, they want to push the box because they're going to make some money on it eventually, assuming that both manufacturers are going to lose money, in the short term. But I think that shows how well Game Pass and xCloud is working for them, that they're really pushing Android for xCloud. They're really thinking about, well, what if you buy a Chromecast, essentially, from Microsoft? Just buy any Microsoft controller, pair the two of them together, and now you got xCloud on your TV. Mm-hmm. I think that's a really smart thing that they're not, unlike a lot of other companies might do, is just dig their heels in and be like, no, like, you got to buy a box, man. Like, buy an Xbox One or a Series X or S. Like, you got to do this to get the stuff. It's like, no, man, play it on your phone. Like, maybe we'll sell you a $50 stick and with a controller. Like, whatever. Just start buying the stuff. And at that point, if they manage to put that out, at that point, what are you doing? Why are you not get it? Why don't you have Game Pass? Like, yeah, Game Pass is still the best deal in the business. And if they put out a stick, it's like, just buy the stick and a controller and just get Game Pass. It's stupid cheap. It's crazy. Man. That's all of our news stories, and we actually don't have any questions this week, so that's our episode. And we managed to record another 2 hours. Weird. You can, if you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page, including our merchandise store, where Moonpier's brand new designed shirt is still up there. If you want to brighten up your life with a very wonderful rainbow and a message to match, go check it out over there on our store, including a whole bunch of
eyeing that pillow.
It's a good looking pillow, man. You need a throw pillow. We have an inspiring message for you. So go scoop that stuff up. If you wanted the T-shirt, the political one, who is that on that
Bloom
shirt?
North.
Thank you. The Bloom North 2021. As we're starting to wrap up the year itself, I'll probably be bringing that off of the store. So if you wanted to scoop one of those up before they go away, and we'll probably replace it with a Bloom North 2024 shirt, go scoop up this year's model. I'll post on Twitter and I'll give some notice before it goes down. But just keep an eye out there. Patreon.com/E1M when the ones are numbers. Told you about all the cool stuff. Not going to tell you about it again. Help the show, get some cool audio, get some early access, make me cry with scary stuff. Everybody wins.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah. Game Pass game right now is Eichenfell. It is on Game Pass. It is longer than the games we usually play, so if you haven't started by now, you need to.
Hint moon.
If you haven't started, you need. If you're running into a time crunch for this game, I would heavily recommend changing the battle mode to auto, where it removes all the timing stuff and it makes the game significantly easier. We roguelike it. We're playing Hades right now. If you're not playing Hades, what are you doing? Go play Hades. Even if you don't like roguelikes, go play Hades. It's one of the best of them. Go listen to Critical Misses. We're having a blast on Critical Misses. We just finished Season 3. Season 4 looks like it's going to be a heck of a time, too. And you should go check that out. And I think that's it. We have fun here. We do a lot of stuff here. And we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
All right, Nimp. I would like your titles.
And I would like to give them to you.
Fantastic.
So,
Everybody wins.
We have. Good day, gentlemen.
Good day.
We have I Got the Chops.
Yep.
I Roll Solo. I'll Call You a Winner. Reverse Torch. And Is Senpai in the Whip?
I had already forgotten about that. Is Senpai in the whip? As my body is leaving my... As my spirit is leaving my body. All right, Moon, what are your titles?
So as someone who doesn't have glasses, I legitimately just had a glasses moment.
Okay.
Because I was like, where is my pen for my tablet?
Yeah.
It's right here.
Yep.
Tucked behind my ear.
Ta-da!
Two guys with glasses can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, titles. Got Vented into Space. I Roll Solo. Context is Everything. Rolling with a 5-stack. Grabby Jelly Beans. Everyone is Handsy. There's a theme today, apparently. And Senpai and the Whip.
I guess I have to put a check mark next to Senpai and the Whip. I still got the Chops, Rainbow Six Guess Who, I Roll Solo, I'll Call You a Winner, Is Senpai in the Whip, ? And Grabby Jelly Beans.
As much as you hated Boston, it's got to be Senpai and the Whip.
Yeah, it does. I'll circle it. Let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I got the
All right, starting in
the obvious one, just so you know, Nim.
Oh, I figured.
Okay. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 679 for October 26th, 2020. Is Senpai in the whip?
He finally noticed me.
Find out next episode.
On Senpai in the whip.
Oh, we're monsters.
There's a game out on PS4 right now called Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? And every time I think of that, I was like, God, that's a TVGP title. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Those monsters.
It's a little bit long.
It's a
Send me a
funny
check.
anime.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
The game is.
Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with us and watching, and we'll see you here next week. Bye.
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 And we can stop recording.